Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Ponderings of the Priest. We've been talking about living the fruits of the Spirit, and today we talk about kindness and what it means to live kindness. To be kind is to choose to be gentle. To be kind is to choose to say the nice thing instead of the mean thing, or to not say anything at all. It's that if you can't be nice, don't say anything at all. If you're angry enough that you think that whatever's going to come out of your mouth or your actions are going to be hurtful to another, that we don't do anything instead. Kindness is having a generosity of spirit and a compassion towards others, realizing that I'm no better and no worse than anyone else, that we all suffer from something in some time, somewhere, and that if I choose to be kind, I can choose to be aware of that and to open my eyes to that and to not react to things. Jesus in the Gospels, everything he does, with a very few, maybe two exceptions, is always kind. Jesus is always kind. He always chooses that generosity of spirit and the kind word and the kind deed. When Peter does something absolutely harebrained, and Peter did a lot of absolutely harebrained things, Jesus didn't say, "Peter, you're an idiot. What are you doing?" Instead, what Jesus does with Peter is Jesus teaches Peter in a very kind way, in a very loving way. The passage from the resurrection story in John's Gospel of "Do you love me, Peter?" is one of the greatest stories of forgiveness and love that is in the Gospel. Jesus, when the woman with the issue of blood for over 12 years touches Jesus' robe out of desperation, what should have happened by Jewish law is she should have rendered Jesus ritually unclean so that he couldn't enter the temple to teach. And instead of being angry, Jesus turns to her and kindly says to her, "Woman, your faith has made you well." Jesus chooses the kind word. When Jesus encounters the Samaritan woman at the well, the first human being Jesus reveals himself to be the Messiah to, he says, "Go and tell your husband." And she says, "He's not my husband." And Jesus doesn't berate her. He doesn't condescend to her. He doesn't judge her. He just kindly says, "You're right." And he is kind to her, which inspires her to want to follow him and to want to do and be better. Because that's what our kindness does, is it touches people's hearts and it opens us all up to each other instead of shutting us down to each other. And it makes us want to be better people. If you believe in me and you're kind enough to me, even when I'm badly behaved, maybe I can be better too. That's what our kindness does for each other. To choose to be kind, to not be mean-spirited, to not to punish. I hear about it all the time. Just a little tiny example of the opposite of kindness is when we're angry with our spouse or our children or somebody close to us, ironically, is I was so mad at him I didn't speak to him for 3 days. I was so mad at her I didn't speak to her for 2 weeks. When we are not speaking to people and we're shutting them out emotionally, we are being very mean and very mean-spirited. There is nothing kind about it. So let us all choose in the saying, can't we all just get along? Let's just all be nice to each other. Be kind, be generous of spirit, be patient, be loving, be compassionate. That is kindness. May you have a kind day. Practice random acts of kindness, and let's all just get along. Have a wonderful day, everybody.